is another level of endurance, I would say. It's
Yeah.
unsupported is another level of discipline, because you have
Right.
to handle so many things. You have to handle your progress in the race, your nutrition, your hydration, your navigation, your motivation, your sleep, deprivation. Many times I took some breaks also because I was very sleepy. So if I'm very sleepy, I said no, I'm not taking any risk. Better sleep for 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and then progress. There is no one here to watch me where I'm going, what I'm doing. So I cannot do any mistakes. And apart from
Exactly.
that, I'm also responsible because back home, my family has believed in me that this guy will ride responsibly over there. This is a amazing lessons into life. You really want to find a solution and you are really want to get something done, you will get it done. Somehow you will get it done. There
Right.
is always a solution. There is always something available. It's most important thing is ask for help. When you ask for help, automatically people will come from somewhere. When you ask for help, God will send you someone from somewhere to help you out. It was
Oh,
unbelievable for me. Unbelievable. Like,
I am Venki, a working professional in IT as well as an amateur masters athlete and a coach for endurance sports. You are listening to the Working Athlete podcast. Here, I talk to working athletes from all walks of life and experts from various sports to provide you with inspiration, training tips, and lifestyle advice. If this is something that interests you, I have a small request from you. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. You can also let me know what you like and what you would like to listen to more of by commenting in the comment section on YouTube. I promise to do my best to improve with each episode and bring you the best content that helps you and me get better each day. In this episode, I talk to Dr. Amit Samarth. Amit is an ultra cyclist par excellence with an excellent track record with races like Trans Siberian Extreme, Race Across America, Race Across India, etc. Most of the races he has done so far were crew supported ultra challenges. Earlier this month, he attempted something that he has never attempted before, which was taking part in self-supported category of Race Around Poland, a 3,600 kilometer race with about 30,000 meters of total elevation gain. In this episode, he shares about the challenges he faced during the incredibly hard race around Poland and how he overcame them to finish the race. We also talk about the differences between self supported and crew supported races and what one needs to keep in mind to prepare for each of those formats. As usual, it was amazing talking to Amit as he shares all the learnings openly and honestly. I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did. This episode is brought to you by The Bike Affair. If you are in search of a one stop destination that caters to all your cycling needs, our today's sponsor, The Bike Affair, is the perfect place to check out. I have known the founders of The Bike Affair, Krish and Gokul, personally for nearly 15 years now. In fact, my first century ride was with Krish back in 2008. They are both exceptional human beings and entrepreneurs that believe in providing exceptional service to their customers. And it shows. With over 14 years of experience, the Bike Affair has established itself as a trusted source offering honest advice and exceptional service. They are offering a special treat for the listeners of this podcast. You can enjoy a 10% discount on your first order by using the code BikeyWenky on their website. So if you are in Hyderabad, visit their store in Kondapur, or if you are anywhere else in India, shop online by using the link thebikeaffair.com. I will leave the link in the show notes. Now, enjoy the podcast. Welcome to the Working Athlete podcast again, Amit. And massive congratulations on the successful completion of race around Poland, correct?
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Venki. I'm happy to be again at Working Athlete podcast, and always happy to have a conversation with you.
Awesome, awesome. Always a pleasure catching up. So, Amit, I want to, talk about the race itself, but also, like I was talking to you, I want to kind of understand because you have been in the ultra cycling for a long time, and you have done now both, some of the longest self-supported races as well as supported races. I also want to understand what is involved, what are the differences, how people can kind of prepare for one versus the other and all that. So but before we get into that, uh, let us talk about how was the preparation going into this particular race.
Yeah, mostly. Uh, See, it's a very big difference in between supported and unsupported race, especially when the distances are very long. And this race around Poland, it's a. I came across this race like 4 5 months back, and I thought means of course I had done many races like race across America, then Trans Siberian, the Golden Quadrilateral, then race across India. So I thought it's a good opportunity to do some a different race, a different in a different country, and take it as a different challenge. And unsupported was it's a very different challenge, and it's a very unsupported is very very tough because you are all alone, and you have to manage your navigation, you have to manage your nutrition, hydration, you also have to manage your motivation, because there will be nobody, and if you have any problems with your health, your bike, everything has to be managed by your own self. So and that too, race around Poland. I've never been to that country, and I've never been to the in that situation also. So it was a more of a planning. Of course, fitness wise and distance wise, it was not a challenge because I've done longer distances than this. But of course, preparation wise, the more major preparation was more with what kind of bike setup I will need, what kind of things I will need, what kind of problems which I might face, what kind of things I should carry together. And that was more part of a, and this was not like uh, like a high priority race for me, like okay, let's do this kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
to begin
let's
with,
pack stuff.
how did this race come into your purview? How did you end up selecting this, deciding that I want to do this?
I actually, yeah, of course, you come across the VUCA posts and all, and then I saw that race around Poland is, a VUCA World Ultra Cycling Championship again this year. So I thought, why don't I said nobody from India is going for these kind of races, like for Ultra Cycling Championship and all. So why don't I go and try myself over there? And that was my whole idea, and try a new race, try a new geography. Also another thing was like uh, I had another opportunity, like I would meet other riders, I can talk about race across India. And they were the organizers were very happy, and when they introduced me before the race, they said that this guy is also founder of Race Across India, and there is a Polish rider this year who is going to ride in Race Across India. So those things were very nice from the organizers, and from there. So they were massively happy that somebody from India has come for their race. And if you look at the people who had participated in the race, there was nobody from India. There is nobody from entire Southeast Asia also. If you look at the people who had participated, so I thought, why don't I go and participate and try to do an unsupported race, because it will be very difficult for me to organize a full-fledged crew and a full-fledged, crewing support team for this kind of a race, because my team, they are all busy with race across India, and if I take their time now for this race, then they will not be again available for race across India. So, so I had to,
Right.
you know,
So does this race have the supported version as well?
yeah, yeah, they have a full supported version also, and a lot of the good athletes like Isa Palwar and Mark Rupensky and many, they were all racing supported, and even a lot of good this another guy. So a lot of the best, some of the European riders, they were all racing supported. I was the guy who was like unsupported, and they were also surprised to see me in the unsupported category. I said, why not try it out? What is the problem?
Right.
And at the most, I will have my own problems. I will fail. Then I will find my way out of this.
Right. So was the route what was the route like? Was the route same for supported and unsupported races?
Route is same,
Hmm.
and for the same. You see, the good thing about their unsupported format is they have drop back facility. So they have this time station. So if you are an unsupported rider, you can have 10 drop backs. You can create your 10 drop backs. You can put all the things whatever you want in those drop backs, and you can uh, have them, you can give it to them before the race, and all these drawbacks will be available for you exactly at that time station. Whatever you had planned will be available, and you have access to the drop bag. You can take things from the drop bag, and you can put back used clothes and whatever items which you have used, and you can move forward. So that facility they have for unsupported riders. So you don't have to carry a lot of clothes or something with you. You can plan your clothes, your shorts, how many shorts you will need, then what kind of things you will need, what do we do, will you need power banks, will you need extra power banks or tire tubes and extra tires, or something like food, whatever you want to place. You can plan it according to the route, and and then and then you can. And good thing about race around Poland is the route is very safe. So the if you are the safety of a supported rider and unsupported rider is same. In terms of safety, there is no difference. It's not like
Right.
India, in terms of because the roads are so good, and so the traffic is so disciplined, and everybody will stop for a cyclist. They will give way for you. They will even the biggest trucks, the big 18 wheelers will stop for you. So in terms of safety, there is no major difference. It's the
Right.
supported rider, the supported rider, gets the only, he has always the support of nutrition, hydration, so he can ride continuously. And the unsupported rider has to stop multiple times, get food, water, and he has to depend on all the, what you say, the
Gas stations and
uh,
stuff.
gas stations, and he has to depend, and he has to be lucky also. Like some of the stretches in the race, there are very few gas stations, and so you don't get food very frequently or water or something. So
Hmm.
in those stretches, the unsupported rider will really suffer, because yeah, he is totally uncertain whether he is gonna get food, water, and in many places in Poland, some of the shops they get closed at 3 p.m. itself. So 3 p.m.
Right.
the shop is closed. Yeah. So they so, and these are border areas, because the race is going through the border. So in many of these places, the shops are only open at 3 till 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and then they are closed. So
Right.
it's a very different experience.
Right. So when you said, you can have dropbacks, do you provide these dropbacks to the organizer ahead of the time before the start of the race, so
Yeah.
that they, you tag which time station or where you want that particular bag, and they
Yes.
keep it there.
So the
So in
organizers,
essence,
yeah, they will give you bags. They will give you standard bags they have. You have to
right.
collect them 1 day prior or 2 day prior to the race. Then you organize all the bags. They will give you stickers of the time stations, exactly numbered stickers, and you paste those stickers on the bag, and those bags will be available to you at those time stations.
Amazing. So you have to essentially plan everything, like maybe
Yeah,
the clothes, the maybe extra food or something that you want to,
yeah, yeah.
energy bars
Yeah,
or whatever.
you have to plan for the best possible way, but honestly, all your plans will not work exactly, because I had planned many things, that I will need warm clothes and all in some sections and all, and there I was sweating in those sections, so I had no no need for a full leg warmer or something. I There was no need, because we were sweating like anything. So
Right.
so all those thoughts were good before the race. Okay, it might get cold, and I will need a jacket, and I will need full gloves and all, and I might need a balklava or something, and there I didn't need anything of those things in those sections. So
Right. But how was the, now that we talked about, it being warm, how was the weather, there during the day versus during the night?
uh, during the day it was very very hot. It was super hot, and very I would say, um, uh, means it used to be very hot uh, in the daytime, after like 8 a.m., and the day is very long. The day is, because it's northern hemisphere and summer. I thought it will be a great idea, that it's like a European summer. It will be nice weather, and it will be, day is very long, so you are riding. So your night riding is only for 4 5 hours, and then again it's a long day. But actually, I was praying for a longer night later on, because it was so hot. It is so hot in Europe right now. On some of the days in the daytime, it was going, like the Garmin was showing 42, 43 degrees temperature,
Wow.
to 43 degrees centigrade, and
It's like Rajasthan.
yeah, it's super windy, and this sun is so piercing. the the sun on the in Europe is like very different on your skin,
Hmm.
we are not used to that kind of sharp sun here in India.
Right.
So that was also another problem, and so day was very long, very hot in between, like especially from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m., 7 p.m., very hot, like 7, 8 hours of super, you know,
Hot weather.
hot weather, and then it used to, kind of, uh, you know, get cooler, and then the night too used to be very nice. So I used to pray for night, that the night should be longer, and it was easy to ride in the night because in the night the wind speed was less, the heat was less, and it was far pleasant to ride in the night.
Excellent, excellent. So, now let us kind of set the scene in terms of, for those who don't know about the race, what was the distance and what was the like route like?
See, the distance is 3,600 kilometers. It starts in Warsaw and ends in Warsaw. So the race kind of goes all around the borders of Poland. And so it starts in Warsaw, it goes down south. So first you are riding along the border of Ukraine, then you are riding along the border of Czech Republic, then again, so after, then once you um and then first 500 kilometers is flat, like flat rolling, and then you are into Tatra mountain range. So the Tatra mountain range is very very long, and that is the, I think, the death zone of this race, because most of the riders gave up in this. 50% of the people, they DNF in this race. So,
Hmm.
uh, and I'm very much in a, means, I'm not surprised, because it is, the Tatra mountain range is way too long. It is like almost, they start around 450 kilometers, and then the mountains are there with you till almost 1700 kilometers. So you are
Wow.
there in the mountains for almost 1100, 1200 kilometers. It's all mountains. You
Hmm.
are all up and down, up and down, up and down, and so most of the climbing and the elevation gain of the race is in this section, and
Hmm.
it is super difficult. And these are short mountains, short and but very steep, like 10% grade, 12% grade, and like you are riding average 10% grade for 8 kilometers, average 7%, 8% grade for 8, 9 kilometers, 10 kilometers. So there are some super big climbs and very long climbs, steep climbs, and so they have designed the route, especially, so they the race director himself said that it's not an easy race. It's specifically designed to irritate you, to make you really work hard for this race. He has mentioned this, uh, and it is a very very tough section of the race, and of course it is very beautiful because you are in the mountains, but it is like, you will get tired, because they will not, it's not like, small mountainous section where it will end in a half a day or something. It is like it will be there for 3 to 4 days, and you have to ride through it, keep riding, keep riding, keep riding, and hoping that one day this will be over,
Right.
and you will be out of this place. uh,
No, but I could imagine that it would be harder with a loaded bike, right?
Yes,
In a
very
self.
hard, very hard, very hard. Self-supported with a loaded bike with extra 6, 7 kgs on your bike, and riding those climbs was very tough. Honestly, like first 500 kilometer, it was so hot. I was dehydrated. So much of salt coming out of my body, and sharp sun. I was dehydrated totally on, like, the on after 1.5 days, and I was yet to reach the second time station. From the second time station is where the the mountains start. So and I was super dehydrated, and then I had to rework my strategy, to slow down, then take more breaks, eat more, drink more water, and uh, give a break to my body and not push too much, so that at least you give it an opportunity to to recover out of this. So second day onwards, when I was in mountains, luckily, it was not very sunny. It was uh, pretty cloudy for another day. So the third
Hmm.
day, the second and the third day were cloudy, and then that helped me to actually recover. And I was able to ride through the mountains, enjoy. My wife, I called my wife. She said, "You slow down, because you are doing a totally different format. You have to stop more number of times, drink more water, eat more food, and just enjoy. Take it as a tour. Take it as a touring. And take pictures. Stop more oftenly, and enjoy the whole thing, because you might never do this again. So
Right.
better you enjoy, take pictures, and do whatever touristy kind of a stuff also over there. So
Right.
so I started doing that, and that helped me to take my mind out of the very competitive mode, and that helped me to recover out of the whole dehydration, and feel good. So I started feeling good again from the second and a half day onwards, and I was in the mountains. It was mountains, hard work, but because I was taking more longer stops, and more longer sleep breaks also. So I took longer sleep breaks, like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, so that my entire body gets recovered out of it. So
Hmm. Hmm.
because it's a different format, it's a very long, and because I was terrified after 1.5 days. Like, I'm dehydrated and all, and I don't even have a team to help me correct all this. So,
Right.
and this race is 3,600 kilometers. So, how I'm gonna, cope up with this kind of a. So I have to slow down, and I have to take longer breaks.
Awesome. It is, uh, it kind of teaches you, right? When you have a team around you, they take a lot of thinking out of your mind,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So,
yes,
but you have to keep thinking straight even when you are super tired, and
yes,
that becomes much more of a challenge when you are suffering, you are dehydrated, you have like the most tough terrain of the route coming right at you, and you kind of have to go back to the drawing board and rethink the strategy
yes,
on how you can get out of the hole, right?
yes,
So
yes. Totally rethinking, and changing your way you look at this whole thing, and and you are unsupported, so you have to think all the factors. How I'm
right.
going to manage my nutrition, hydration, how I'm going to manage sleep, because you also have to be totally alert, because there is no one behind you to save you. If you are sleeping on the bike, and you're going some other way, other direction, you are gone. So you
Right.
you have to make sure that your mind is always alert. If you are very sleepy, you better sleep, and keep your mind fresh.
Very, very true. So, what was the total elevation like over,
It's
3,600
around
kilometers?
30,000 meters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a tough race. It's 30,000 meters in 3,600 and lot of elevation concentrated in that Tatra mountain.
First first half.
The first half of the race is, that is where everybody gives up, because
Hmm.
it's too long, too much, too many climb, because you will, on the end you will start crying, because every, you are going up the hill, then you are going down the hill, and then when you are going down the hill, then you know that there's another hill coming up. In next 4 5 kilometers you will be again be climbing. So so it is mentally very very challenging. Means I think even race across America doesn't have this kind of a section, and it doesn't have this kind of a very very tough, mentally
Continuous.
challenging, continuous, you are like going for days together like this. And
Hmm. Yeah, really interesting. I'm sure a lot of others will kind of try and look at this as well after listening to you,
yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah, this is like sounds like a crazy challenge
No, no, it's a
to
tough
pursue.
challenge. I would
Hmm.
say it's not a easy challenge at all. I would rate this race as, even more tougher than race across America, even though distance is shorter. But
Hmm.
the weather and the elevation gains and the steepness of the climbs is, is way too much.
Hmm.
Steepness is just a killer.
Right. What
See,
was the like?
you can have a, you can climb, you can do the same elevation gain, you can do a 10-kilometer climb at 5%. That is one thing. But if you are
Right.
doing every climb 5 kilometer at 12%, 14%, that is what
That
kills you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The changes the whole dynamics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I,
Some of the climbs are like this, you are like, it is on your face, and you
walls,
know like just like wall, like a vertical wall in front of you.
right?
And they have taken all these climbs, this from the Tour de Polonie, which is the, the professional cycling tour of Poland. So
Hmm.
all these legendary climbs have been taken from there, and they have been put into this ultra cycling race.
Amazing, amazing. So, when you were like, riding self-supported, what what are the uh, challenges that you faced? I saw that you had problems with spokes breaking, wheel
Yeah,
issues,
yeah.
and stuff. So the mechanicals, what were the challenges in terms of mechanical? How did you kind of get out of those?
Lot of the challenges are actually, what happened is, first I got, you know a puncture, so which was in the like almost in the night time. I repaired it. I think I didn't put enough pressure in the tire, so so it worked. But the second day when I was going down the hill, I on the down the hill there was a gravel, and on the gravel it got punctured. And on the downhill, if there is a puncture, you're going downhill and there is a puncture in the front tire, front wheel. You are all gone, and I
You're
fell
like,
off the. Yeah, I fell very badly off the bike. All this, my thumb has got injured, and luckily, means I had nothing. I just had bruises, and but my, the shifter and all, all it got all uh,
bent.
totally bent on one side. And then in when I fell off the bike, I was like crying. I thought I have now multiple fractures or something like that. So
Yeah, I mean
because it
that
was
is a
so bad.
serious, that is a very real possibility, right? When you are
Yeah.
going down the hill and
Yes.
your front tire gives up and
Yes.
you crash at relatively higher speeds on a downhill,
Yes. Yes.
You don't know how many bones you will end up breaking. Lucky
Yeah.
that
So
you got away without broken bones.
yeah, then I got, then I was surprised. I got up I got off the road. I was standing. Then I took the bike on the one side. Then I, repaired the puncture. Then I repaired the shifter, and then I continued ahead. And uh, then I understood that maybe the tire pressure must not be optimum. So then I made sure the tire pressure is optimum, and then later on, I think because this the I was using a dynamo hub, so I had built a new wheel. So with a dynamo hub, I had built a new wheel, and so I use locally available spokes. So I think those spokes are not meant for that amount of hard work.
Right.
So, and because when you are going down the hill and this spoke started breaking after like 2000 kilometers. So the
Hmm.
Tatra mountain range was already gone. So what happened in Tatra mountains is, because you're continuously climbing and you're descending. So when you're descending, there is a lot of
You'll be
braking.
breaking a lot.
So because we are braking a lot, there is lot of pressure on the
Load.
spoke,
Yeah.
huge load on the spokes because you're continuously braking. So the ends of the spoke, there is a massive load because you're always stopping them from doing the going into that
Right.
inertia.
Hmm.
So I think because of this excessive load on the spokes, and the spokes were not of the best quality, so they started breaking. And luckily, I was like very not very far from a big city, and I was able to find a very good bike store just like 500 meters away from from the race route.
Wow.
And they repaired they repaired my bike, and of course I had to stop. It took like 2 hours extra.
Hmm.
I can't do anything about it. 2 hours gone,
Right.
and so but they repaired it, and they like immediately took my bike for repairs, and they repaired it, and they were able to, and I was able to get back within 2 hours back into the race. So those were like,
Any other challenges after the
yeah, many. This
spokes?
was the first one. Then again after some, again after 400 kilometers, another smoke broke off. Then again I was lucky.
Hmm.
I was reaching this Russia border. So there was this guy standing out. There was one city called as Brainio. Some name of the city is very small city. Some population of 15,000 people. So this guy was, I think, a cyclist, and he was standing out of the start of the city to cheer me, and
Hmm.
I met him and I told him that I have a problem again. I have a spoke broken. He said, no problem. 1 kilometer ahead, I have a bike mechanic. We will go straight and we will get it repaired. So he took me to the bike mechanic. They again got it repaired, and they gave me food, water, and they made me sleep when they were repairing the bike. They said you go to sleep for 1 hour, you will get full rest, and you eat food and you sleep. We will repair your bike, and they repaired my bike free of charge. This is unbelievable, free of charge,
Wow.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's just this oh, this guy is racing, we should help him.
Wow.
And
Amazing.
it is like, and this is like in the middle of nowhere, like Russia, border of Russia. And
Right.
then this guy told me, that he's a Russian, no, sorry, a Polish border police person. He's a soldier, and he works with Polish border police. And then once the bike was repaired, then he came along with me for another 5 6 kilometers, and he showed me the Russia border and all, and he showed me, how close you are to the Russia. It's very close. He said,
Right.
he said you just go another 2 kilometers that way, it's all Russia. So so this race route is right on the borders,
Right.
so you are
Around
very,
Poland, right? The
yeah,
race
it's around
around Poland.
Poland. So it's so you're mostly, riding very close to the borders of Germany, Russia, all these countries, and
Hmm.
so yeah, so this was another example. You have a problem, but suddenly there were this, people, coming out of nowhere, for
To
helping me
help.
out, and then again, I had another problem. 500 kilometers away from the finish line, my chain broke down. You know, totally,
Wow. Hmm.
two
Snap.
pieces, snap.
Hmm.
So at that time, I thought now it's over. I,
I'm out of lives.
like I'm out of life now. Like there is nothing, because this was one of the most isolated part of the race. Very
Right.
rural. There is nothing. 100 kilometers. There is nothing ahead. 100 kilometers. Nothing behind. There is nothing. There
Hmm.
is no big city. There is no big town. There is nothing. So and I was like stuck there in. Then only thing is my mobile was working. Mobile was working. Then I called my wife. She said, "Don't you wait for some time. There is a rider behind you. There's a rider behind you."
She's dot watching.
Yeah, so she's not watching, and she said, "There's a rider behind you, and he might help you out. He might have some solution for you."
Right.
So there was a rider, I think, half an hour behind me. So I stopped. Then I was just hanging around there, thinking what I can do now. Then I came across that there are two, three options, that there is a city which is around uh, 50 kilometers away from here. I can go. There is a bike mechanic over there. Maybe I can, get a cab, and take my bike and go to the bike mechanic. Repair my bike, come back here, and again start the race. So that was one
Hmm.
option. And then second option was, this rider might help me out something.
Hmm.
So this rider came, and he saw me, and he stopped, and he said, and the problem was, he was not great at English at all. So I had to, communicate with him on Google Translate, and so he saw my chain and all. He said, I have power link, but I think power link will not work on your chain. This will not work.
Right.
So he said, I said, okay, even don't worry, you just give me power link. I will at least try whether this
Hmm.
will work or not. So then he gave me the power link, and he went off. So then I started working with the power link, and I, made some close observation of the chain, and I had luckily I had some tools. I had
Chain tool.
I didn't had a chain tool. I had a one, you know, pincer kind of a tool,
Hmm.
just to hold and do things. So and I was able to remove the broken part of the chain, and then I thought this power link might work now. If I
Right.
put it this way, and then I also when I checked other things, I understood that the front derailleur is all broken, because the chain snapped into the when it got broken, it snapped into the front derailleur, so it
Hmm.
damaged the front derailleur. And so then I put the chain into the small chain ring, and put the power links, and it worked. So the now the chain was in small chain ring, and I said, why don't I try riding now? And I started riding, and I was out of that area another 20 kilometers. I came to the main highway. So then I was thinking that, I had to think, I had to take decisions whether I have to go to
Right.
the other city which is not on the route. Should I go
Hmm.
to the other city which is not on the route, try and fixing my bike, or just ride with whatever is working right now.
Right.
So I had to take
Small chain
some,
ring all the way.
yeah, just go with the small. So I thought, then I made some, mental, calculations that if I go to the other city, which is another 25 kilometers from here, off the course, 1 hour gone, then the bike mechanic will take another couple of hours, then again, so 4 hours gone, and my progress in the race is zero. So, so, uh, so I said, but I will just ride with this same system now. It is
Right.
working. There is no problem. It's small chain ring, but it's fine. The rear derailleur is doing the work. It is shifting, and so I went. I did the entire race the same way. Then from there onward, the next 500 kilometers were on the small chain ring. Like,
Amazing.
yeah. Uh,
you know,
yeah, that was the last problem which I had. And,
right. It is amazing, right? You go through these circumstances, and have to think of a way to get out of those. You have to summon all your positivity. You have to kind of
yes,
try and ward off all the negative thinking. And of course, if you have those that mentality also, kind of universe will
yes,
work
yes.
with you to find people that can
Yeah,
help you.
yeah, of course. I was unbelievable. Means I think this is a amazing lessons into life. Like if you really want to find a solution and you are really want to get something done, you will get it done. Somehow you will get it done. There
Right.
is always a solution. There is always something available. It's and most important thing is ask for help. Ask for help. People, when you ask for help, automatically people will come from somewhere. This is what I've learned, from these kind of races and all, especially this race around Poland, is ask for help. When you ask for help, God will send you someone from somewhere to help you out. It was
Oh,
unbelievable for me, unbelievable. Like somebody standing on the city, in the entry of the city, helping you out. And then again, like the Polish, when in the last leg of the race, I was stopped by Polish border police. They took me to headquarters.
wow.
They
Why was
yeah,
that?
yeah, this was in the last leg, last 400 kilometers.
Hmm.
So I was riding on the border, and then suddenly this, of course, they many of the time they crossed me, but in this particular place, I don't know what this police officer saw. He said, he stopped me and he said, "Who are you? Show me show me your passport, show me your visa." And I showed him, and on the mobile I had all the things. So he said, okay, you come to our headquarters, you have to come. I said, I'm in a race, I'm losing time. So he said, no, no, it's just 2 kilometers from here. You come with us, and then we will let you go.
Right.
Uh, I said, okay, what I can say, I have to follow whatever they're saying. So I
Exactly.
went behind them. So they were driving ahead, and I had to follow them. And and these are all like commandos, fully loaded with guns and all. with uh, So
You
and
have
then
no option but to
yeah,
follow.
no option. Just listen to them, whatever they are
Yeah,
saying. And no restraining, no protesting, nothing.
right,
So I just went and so when I was going, I called the guy, I met in the Brain City because he told me that he works with Polish border police.
right.
So when I reached the headquarters, he by the time he had already called these people, telling that
Uh,
the Amit is a rider, he's a very accomplished rider. You see his website and all, and he's doing this race. So then this police guys, they uh, made me sit for 15-20 minutes. They saw my documents. They again actually they were doing their job. It's a very
yeah,
very
obviously.
much understood thing, because somebody, Asian guy with a brown skin riding in their border areas, it's very much for them they have to investigate.
Right, right.
So, so yeah, it was another episode. From there, there was nothing. I just went smoothly all the way till the finish line. But
Spinning in
yeah,
the small chain ring
yes, yes.
all the way to the finish.
Yeah, but the
Amazing.
one
Yeah.
of the thing about Poland is, they have really invested in cycling.
Hmm.
The cycling is a part of their national thinking. That is
Right.
something. Means every village I went, like I passed, there was a cycle track, there was a walking track. Every village, by the side of the main highway, there was a cycle track and a walking track. Every village. So there must be thousands of villages in Poland, and every village, every city, small town, they had this infrastructure, which was really amazing, to appreciate, and thinking that we can also do this in our country now, because uh,
Right.
we are building so much of infrastructure in India, so we can also do these things.
Hmm. Hmm. Definitely, but these kind of places, they have invested so much in the
Yes.
infrastructure, thinking about these cyclists and pedestrians, and
Yeah,
building
yeah.
their places around them. Right, that's important to kind of you have done some activism in Nagpur and all that, so maybe you can put in
Yeah,
these
that is
inputs as well.
actually my, one of the biggest learning from Poland is, they have done, it's not some very, hi-fi thing. It is just the extension of the road. They have
Hmm.
extended the road on one side and they have made it elevated and they have created a cycling track and a walking track. Some of the cities I passed through, the cycle track starts right from the, inside the city, and then it continues along the highway for 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers, 50 kilometer of dedicated road on the side of the highway
Right.
for for cycling. So we can also do this. Means we are creating so many big highways now in our country. So if we create this kind of a 20 kilometer, 25-kilometer stretches in our cities, in and around our cities, that will really help cycling, to you know pick up in our country also. So yeah,
Yeah.
and of course it was so nice to see so many cyclists in Poland, in small villages, all these guys riding this super premium bikes, you know the best of the best brands they were riding, and this is right in villages,
Yeah.
and in mountains, and in so that was something really nice to see.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. So you also so how many days did it take? Were there any kind of cutoffs for the race? How, what
Yeah,
was the
there was
cutoff for
12-day
supported?
cutoff, 12 days cutoff, and supported and unsupported same cutoff times they had, and
Okay.
I finished in 11 days 7 hours. So actually I
Hmm.
finished fourth place in 18 to 49 age category.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I should have finished for actually further up. It's just, whenever what happened is whenever I had the opportunity to push, that now, I can push more mileage. Some problem came with my bike or something, and then I had to spend 2 3 hours on, finding a solution for it. But
Right.
overall, I'm very happy because it mostly, everybody used to like even my team used to think that Amit is a supported rider. He cannot do things unsupported. He will not be able to do. So for me also, it was very nice that I did something different. Because it is not possible all the time to have the luxury of, the best crew and members and all, and you assembling them together and, doing races. So it's not possible all the time.
Right.
So why don't I also become flexible and, try unsupported stuff, because
Mm.
that is where, and it's another level of endurance, I would say. It's
Yeah.
unsupported is another level of endurance, or I would say another level of discipline, because you have
Right.
to handle so many things. You have to handle your progress in the race, your nutrition, your hydration, your navigation, your motivation, your sleep, deprivation, all these things. Like I like in many times I took some breaks also because I was very sleepy. So if I'm very sleepy, I said no, I'm not taking any risk. Better sleep for 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and then progress, because
Right.
there is no one here to watch me where I'm going, what I'm doing. So I cannot do any mistakes. And apart from
Exactly.
that, I'm also responsible because back home, my family has believed in me that this guy will ride responsibly over there. So,
Right.
so
That is the most important thing, right? We have families waiting back home for
yes,
us,
yes.
so
So
and they
they
have
believe that you will,
graciously kind of allowed us to go pursue something. And
yes. So
yeah.
So then they have, they have believed that you will be riding responsibly. So you have to do it.
Right. I know, definitely. And like you said, self-supported ultra cycling is like an another discipline altogether, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's
It,
another discipline.
it's yeah,
Yeah,
it's completely kind of in major ways different from supported ultra
yeah.
cycling
Supported is
because
like, supported is like, it is like your pure cycling. It's like then your
hmm,
pure cycling performance will come out in
hmm,
supported race. Then in unsupported is like it's all your cycling plus management skills of all these other factors will play or a
right.
major role.
It becomes a team sport, right? The supported event
Yeah, it's a
becomes a
team
team
sport.
sport because the crew plays such a big part, and
Yes, yes,
planning, taking care of the rider, executing everything that the rider needs on time, and problem solving kind of is something that the crew handles mostly, and all that. Now most of those responsibilities also become your responsibilities as
yes,
a
yes,
self-supported rider, to kind of it becomes a individual sport with a varied, not just riding but varied skills like problem solving, thinking clearly, management, time management, mental side of things, managing your mental clarity, and everything kind of becomes super important. So yeah, looks like you learned a lot in this.
yeah,
Amazing, amazing. So you also used this opportunity to kind of seed the thought of race across India
yeah,
to the riders there. So I saw on your socials that this rider is going to come and all that. So uh,
Yes, yes.
talk a little bit about that, and when is
Yeah,
this happening this year?
this is happening in October. October, 1st October it is starting, and this time we have this Christoph Fleischner. So he is already a race across America finisher.
Hmm.
So he did race across America in 2023. So and he's a good rider, very strong rider, and so he is gonna participate. So I was able to meet him on the route. He came to meet me on the route because his town was like some 20 kilometers away from the route. So he and one of his team members came to meet me, and they also came with some food and all, to to have a time small meeting with me. So Nice is a very strong rider, and they are really promoting him. They had a very big presentation for him in Poland. His company is sponsoring his all expenses for his participation in race across India. So that actually is a great, uh, uh, what do you say, uh,
Great
entry
initiative
into
from their side, right?
yeah, so now everybody in Poland, at least in Polish riders will know about race across India, and they can think about coming to race across India in coming years. And then so even the race director of race across Poland was very happy. He said you came for race across race around Poland, and we got so much of publicity. I'm getting so many messages from India that he was telling me earlier I had no contacts in India. Now I have 100 contacts in India.
See.
So it's a and these Polish guys are great guys. They are just like Indians only. They
Right.
are very very helpful. They are always ready to help you out. So I think it's a great, exchange of ideas, thoughts. In future, you might find a lot of Indian riders going to Poland, a lot of Polish riders coming to India for races and all. So and I also met Isa Palwar, Mark Rupensky, and Ralph Davis Scott. So I invited them for a race across India. I mean, at least it's a great opportunity to meet them in person
Yeah.
and invite them for race across India. So
Okay.
yeah, it was a overall it was a great
Great outing, definitely, definitely. So, it's been a blast, Amit, talking to you about all these, the experiences of self-supported race around Poland. What would be your, tips or advice for someone who is looking to get ready for an event like this?
event like this, I think even in supported format, this race is very very tough because
Hmm.
even the riders like Isa Palwar, who is from Switzerland and all, these guys were struggling in the mountains. So this race is very tough in supported format. So
Hmm.
if you are going for unsupported format, you are like increasing your difficulty levels by almost threefold.
Hmm.
So, so whoever is planning for this race should really train hard, and also should be mentally very very resilient. So if you are not mentally very resilient, then because this race will break you down, because Poland can be very hot, becomes very very windy, super windy, and the mountains one if you can if you can get through the mountains, then you can finish the race. But the mountains are super long, distances. So uh, this race is not. I would rate it as somewhere even tougher than race across America in terms of
Hmm.
climbing and elevation and the amount of pain this race can give you is huge. So
Right.
uh, it's not. So even like in the race director's words, I would say it's not an easy race at all. It's a very tough
Hmm.
race. So if you are planning, like if you really want to challenge yourself and take up really tough challenge, then like race around Poland can be one of that kind of a race. But it's a tough race. It's not at all a easy race. So
Yeah.
you have to really train hard for it. Train as well as preparation, planning, your bike setup, yeah, how you're gonna ride, and how you're gonna ride on those lonely highways. Because there are some of the sections there will be no vehicle crossing you for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. There is nothing. It is all like
Completely
your
calm,
completely
lonely.
calm. That might also kill you, because if you are not used to that, you will get mad. And
Right.
yeah, and if you are and there is huge amount of jungle everywhere. You are mostly riding through jungle areas only, and in the night this jungle, it can it is there is nothing there, but it looks very dangerous, and it looks very wild. And if it starts raining in the night, you know and there is lightning and wind, it really becomes very ghostly kind of a atmosphere in the jungle. So if
Right.
you are not used to that kind of a like, you have to have a very strong mind to get through those sections.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. To kind of conclude, let us talk a little bit about race across India. You
Yeah.
said it is going to happen 1st of October, right?
Yes,
So
1st of October, and this time we have 3 times more participation. So, and we have some international participation. We have a team from Kenya. We have a team of four from Kenya, and we
amazing.
have, yeah. So, actually, that is what I'm telling everyone. Like, let's make our race across India our global brand. Our India's global brand for cycling, for
Yeah.
ultra cycling. If we can make that, race across India our India's global brand for, we will have so many riders every year coming. We will even have riders from Europe, for like Southeast Asia, from Taiwan, Malaysia. There are so many riders in Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore area. So I think means that's what I'm really excited. And I hope, like, I'm really looking forward to make the second edition even bigger, better. And that is what
Are you going to
I'm
ride as well?
not yet decided. I think about it.
Right.
But I might ride as a team of two or team of four. I'm
Right.
open to anything new.
Hmm.
I've done all sorts of things in ultra cycling. So
Right.
why don't I can even ride as a team. We can create a record in team of
Hmm.
four or team of
Hmm.
two,
Yeah.
and uh, be
Excellent.
part of the
Excellent.
race.
Amazing, Amit. All the best for race across India, for you and the organizing team and everyone. Uh, I hope it becomes bigger and better each year. And
Yeah.
congrats again for your successful completion of race around Poland.
Thank you, Venki, and I hope we have many more such conversations in future.
For sure, for sure. Let us talk probably right after race across India. Right.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time, Amit.
Thank you.
That was my conversation with Amit. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are enjoying these podcasts and are finding them useful, please consider supporting the podcast by subscribing to it on YouTube as well as on your favorite podcasting app. It really helps. Thanks again for your continuous support. See you next week with another guest.